You might have the most amazing running gadgets in the world for telling you all sorts of things about your running form. And that was Wahoo TICKR, Stride and Incus Nova. But what are you going to do with the data that you give them? We're awash with data. How do you take that data and improve your form? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how you can do it quite simply. Hi, what a lovely day. Here we are in Barbados. Main point of today's video is all about the Barefoot Science Insoles. He says reaching for them. Now, I've had insoles in the past. I've had them made to measure. I've bought insoles. None of them have ever worked. I've gone to people purported to be specialists, consultants, all that sort of stuff. I've had intensive physio, all those sort of things. My journey started with returning back to running, was a sub-3 marathoner, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, so what? Anyway, did all that. I had to do cycling for ages, wanted to get back into running, start running again. Every time I did it, I broke down. Then I came across these Barefoot Science Insoles. I was incredibly skeptical. I spoke to a very gifted and brilliant physio named Stuart at allaboutbalance.co.uk. Check out Stuart's stuff. Really important to have a look at his website. The content on there, a lot of scientific paper links and stuff like that, and also the same on Barefoot Science. But these insoles really have made a difference, and I've tested it. We've done stuff in the past with the Incus Nova, which you put on the spine. Check out the video and you'll see that what that does is measured all your body's measurements about your impact, your foot takeoff, landing side by side, cadence, all that sort of stuff, power measurements. And what it informed me was I was out of kilter because of the injury. I was carrying a long-term injury and I wasn't running as effectively, and therefore that was affecting my running. What I could tell from the Incus Nova is I could get to about 4 kilometers and things started falling to bits, so I could rebuild myself slowly. But even rebuilding myself slowly, things went awry. So the Incus Nova was telling me stuff which was really useful, but what it wasn't doing clearly was fixing things. And what I wanted is I wanted the knowledge and data for the Incus Nova, but also I wanted the fix. So these are normal running shoes. These are great running shoes. In fact, these are not normal running shoes. They're bloody brilliant. 361 degrees. I don't know if you've ever checked them out. I do like running shoes with not too deep a sole because I like to feel contact with the floor. You might go, oh, David, that's where you got injured. Don't think so. Anyway, because I've got thicker ones as well. I've got all sorts. But anyway, these 361, these are the Strata 5s, are ridiculously comfortable, and when I put them on, my average running speed for heart rate increases. So make what you want from that. But the important thing is when I add this is a Barefoot Science insole. You can see my feet onto this Diddy. This is a 3/4 length one. My real feet size is US 14, UK 13. Put these inside and you have this little pad that sits on the inside. Now this is the biggest pad. You work up to this. But with this inside the running shoe, my running function, my form efficiency improves. The data shows that. And not only have I used the Incus, I've used the TICKR X as well. And I've published these figures on social media as I've done it. And my efficiency is better and I'm balanced. I didn't really believe it, but let me just talk to you in a second about how these work. So you start off with something like that, which is, well, not something like that. You start off with this, which is a 1. Too windy again, isn't it? That's a level 1. And you work up to the bigger jobbies. That's a 5. And these all go in the insole here. And what I've got in is a 6, which is the biggest one. As you can see, that's a really big jobby. And that big jobby sits in that hole. You push them together and that sits then in your midfoot. So that sits in your midfoot. So this is the theory. Now imagine your hands. You were born, and as soon as you're born, your parents put gloves on you. Wherever you played with, wherever you went, you always wore gloves. Then one day you took your gloves off and you did stuff. What would you be like? Well, you'd be blinking useless. You'd have very weak hands. And that's exactly what we do to our feet. So why would you do that to yourself? So no matter what you do, is obviously you can't walk around barefoot all the time anyway, and we know there's a lot of benefits of walking barefoot. I've done that to get rid of plantar fasciitis and stuff like that. But if you're walking about barefoot all the time, you could get injured. So we wear our lovely 361 degree Strata 5s and similar running shoes, and we don't get the problems. But what we do is we've got We haven't got the sensory impact that our feet need to avoid injury and balance us out. How can your feet, brain, you think about it, I was to explain this to a very good doctor friend of mine. He went, sort of makes sense, this does. So you think everything in your body is interconnected with your brain, central governor system, all that type of theory. Everything's working together. Your brain's doing stuff we're not even conscious about to make everything work. Well, if your feet can't really tell what's going on, how can they work? Now, the idea is this central pad sits in your midfoot, pushes on your midfoot, makes it uncomfortable, and your brain sort of goes, something going on here. I must have to think what's going on at the foot, and the brain interconnect, and therefore you get better balance. That's the theory. Does it work in practice? It absolutely does. I'll put some short video clips in here and I'll overdub them. And what these are, this is when we went down to Incus, went with Stuart, we took an OptiGate. Have a look at OptiGates, amazing things for putting on running machines and measuring all your running efficiency, and they've been used by lots of boffins all over the world. And we tested out the Barefoot Science Insoles with the Incus Nova and the OptiGate to see what's going on. And also some magic being done by Stuart as well, with somebody with carrying a funny clicking ankles. Within minutes he sorted it out. It was like witchcraft. So even the people at Incus said at Loughborough University, Stuart's level of knowledge as a biomechanic is just outstanding. As high as anything, if not higher than people have seen at Loughborough, which is really saying something. And this is a guy who's staked his reputation on diagnosing people's running injuries and putting them right using barefoot science, and that's how they say I found out about it in the first place. So we did it with the Incus and we saw some great results, and I've done it by going out and running 2 kilometers and then swapping over between insoles and non-insoles, run another 2 kilometers and keep repeating that. Definitely running efficiency is way better, lower watts, higher speed, same heart rate. If you've got the insoles in, take the insoles out, you get worse results. That's my view. So check them out yourself. I'm sure you'll find them, they'll make a difference to you. They're worth the investment. I actually wouldn't run without them. I'll wear them when I'm walking to work. I'll wear them when I'm walking the dog and put them in different shoes and stuff like that. They really are cracking. I'm just going to show you a quick clip now of some of the stuff we were doing at Incus when Stuart was doing his diagnosing and we were doing the testing.
Much medial rotation, what you're getting is kind of a lateral sway, which is what you were saying, sort of side to side movement. And this is actually the foot's rolling in, but your leg is coming out towards me.
Yeah, that'll be lateral side of the ankle pins.
You are medially rotating through the thigh. So that could cause you potentially some knee problems where you've got this going in my direction, the thigh going in that direction. So you're getting it in the heel, the rear foot, and you're getting it in the forefoot.
What we've got here is Liam, lead sports scientist at Incus, going through, what did I say then? Sports scientist at Incus, going through his data. You can probably make out there he's got a problem with his right leg because you can see the imbalance, or could be a problem with the left leg, but it wasn't absolutely spot on. And he's looking through the rest of the data on the app. So we were comparing what came out of the Incus with the OptiGate as well. And here's in the background here, the wonderful Stuart with his software. What we did discover more than anything is that what you get from either device is, I've mentioned earlier, you get a lot of data, which is incredibly useful, but it's then how do you turn that into better running form, which we discovered with my subsequent test as well. By somehow I managed to run 8-minute miles spot on throughout the tests. God knows how I did it, but must be the music I was listening to. That the barefoot running insoles provide a far quicker way to balancing everything out than you probably would get through hours and hours of coaching analysis and people observing you with your running. It's just putting the insoles in really is a shortcut for better running efficiency, form, and arguably injury prevention.
It's me again right at the end of this video, just to say hope you enjoyed this. Genuinely, this is not a sponsored video. I'm a big skeptic on all these things, but I was absolutely amazed at the results I got using the Barefoot Science Insoles. Absolutely fantastic. Check them out. Check out All About Science website. Check out Barefoot Science website. Do your research yourself, but do try them. And I reckon you will go better. Next test for me is, what are they like cycling? Don't think they make any difference, but somebody tells me that they will. Let's find out.